Olivia Barnes rubbed her tired eyes and stared at the monitoring screens. The deep space station horizon hummed quietly around her. For 3 years, she had commanded this small outpost at the edge of the solar system. It was lonely work, but someone had to listen to the stars. "Commander, you should get some rest," said Alan Shepard, the communications officer. His voice echoed in the quiet control room. "I can watch the scanners for a while." Olivia shook her head. "Something feels different tonight, Alan." "Call it a hunch." The station housed just 12 people, all experts in their fields. They worked in shifts, scanning the depths of space for any sign of intelligent life. Most had given up hope of finding anything interesting. Space was vast and empty, they said, but Olivia never stopped believing. Alan yawned and turned back to his station. "Suit yourself. I'm going to make some coffee." As Alan left the room, Olivia leaned forward in her chair. The scanner was picking up something unusual from the direction of Tau Ceti, a star system not too far from Earth. At first, she thought it might be background noise. The universe was full of random signals, but this one had a pattern to it, a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. She quickly typed commands into her console, focusing the station's powerful antennas toward the signal's source. The pattern became clearer. It wasn't random at all. Alan returned with 2 steaming cups. "What's got you so excited?" Olivia pointed to the screen. "Look at this pattern. It repeats every 12 seconds, but with small changes each time." Alan set down the cups and leaned over her shoulder. His eyes widened. That can't be natural." "No," Olivia said quietly. "It can't." She pressed a button on her console. "Paul, I need you in the control room. Now." Paul Wright was the station's chief science officer. He arrived minutes later, his hair messy from sleep. When Olivia showed him the signal, all traces of tiredness vanished from his face. "Have you checked it against all known human transmissions?" Paul asked, already working at another console. "Yes," Olivia said. "It doesn't match anything in our database." Paul ran the signal through various filters and analysis programs. The 3 of them watched in silence as the computer worked. After several minutes, Paul sat back in his chair. "These are mathematical sequences," he said. "Prime numbers, followed by the value of pi to several decimal places, then what looks like a counting system. This is a message, Olivia, and it's not from Earth." The realization hit them all at once. After decades of searching, humanity had finally found proof of intelligent life beyond Earth. "We need to tell Earth Command," Alan said, his voice shaking slightly. Olivia nodded. "Send the data package, but remember it will take 16 hours for our message to reach Earth, and another 16 for their response." As Alan prepared the transmission, Paul continued to study the signal. "There's something else here," he said. "Some kind of audio component." "Can you isolate it?" Olivia asked. Paul worked for several minutes before answering. "I think so. Let me route it through." The speakers. A strange sound filled the control room. It rose and fell in a way that reminded Olivia of human speech, but it was unlike any language she had ever heard. Between the speech-like sounds were mechanical noises, clicking, whirring, and what sounded like alarms. "It's a distress call," Olivia whispered. "They're in trouble." Over the next few hours, the entire crew of the Horizon gathered in the control room. They took turns analyzing the signal, trying to learn more about its source. The signal seemed to be coming from a point near Tau Ceti, about 12 light-years from Earth. Lucy Chen, the station's engineer, pointed out something troubling. "The signal is getting weaker," she said. "Whatever's sending it is losing power." Olivia felt a knot form in her stomach. Something out there needed help. But what could they do from so far away? 16 hours after they sent their message, the response from Earth Command arrived. The orders were clear. Maintain observation only. Do not respond to the signal. Wait for further instructions. Olivia read the message twice, then looked around, at her crew. They had all seen it too. Disappointment and frustration showed on their faces. "They're scared," Paul said. "First contact is a big step. They want to be careful. While they're being careful, whoever sent that distress call might die, Olivia replied. The signal continued to weaken over the next few hours. Earth sent more messages, asking for updates but still ordering the Horizon crew not to respond. Late. Into the night shift, Olivia sat alone in the control room. The strange alien voice had become even more desperate sounding. The mechanical noises in the background had increased. More alarms, more systems failing. She thought about what might be happening 12 light-years away. A ship damaged beyond repair. A colony facing disaster. Beings not so different from humans, facing death alone in the cold emptiness of space. 16 hours away by message, Earth's leaders debated what to do. But here, at the edge of the solar system, Olivia could hear the aliens dying in real time. She made her decision. "Computer, prepare a response transmission," she said. The computer beeped in acknowledgement. "Warning, this action contradicts current orders from Earth Command." "Override," Olivia said. "Authorization Barnes Alpha 79. She pressed the communication button for the ship's intercom. All senior staff to the control room immediately. Within minutes, the room filled with her team. They looked at her expectantly. "I'm going to send a response to the alien signal," she told them. "This goes against our orders. Anyone who doesn't want to be part of this can leave now. No hard feelings." No one moved. Olivia nodded gratefully. "Paul, what's the simplest message we can send that they might understand?" "Their signal contains mathematics," Paul said. "We should respond in kind. Prime numbers, mathematical constants, universal concepts. Add in our location," Lucy suggested. "And maybe a simple greeting?" For the next hour, they crafted their message. When it was ready, Olivia looked at each of them one last time. "This will change everything," she said. "For all of humanity." Alan smiled nervously. "Hopefully for the better." Olivia took a deep breath and pressed the transmit button. Their message, humanity's first intentional communication with an alien intelligence, streamed out into space toward the failing signal. Almost immediately, the alien transmission changed. The desperate voice fell silent for a moment, then returned, stronger, more controlled. The alarm sounds decreased. "They heard us," Paul whispered. New patterns appeared in the signal, different from before but clearly a direct response to their message. "They're sending coordinates," Lucy said, studying the data. "And instructions? I think they're telling us how to find them." Olivia felt a mix of terror and wonder. With a single decision, she had just changed the course of human history. Whatever happened next, there was no going back. The stars had called out in distress, and humanity had answered. 3 months had passed since the Horizon Station received the alien distress call. Now the Earth Alliance vessel Endeavour pushed through the darkness of space, its experimental faster-than-light drive humming with power. Captain Benjamin Howard stood on the bridge watching the stars streak by on the main screen. "Status report," he said, his voice calm despite the historic nature of their mission. "All systems normal, Captain," replied the ship's engineer, Eric Johnson. "The FTL drive is performing better than expected. We should reach Tau Ceti in about 6 hours." Benjamin nodded. The Endeavour was humanity's most advanced spaceship, built for deep space travel but rushed into service for this emergency mission. Its crew of 45 had been selected from thousands of volunteers, the best specialists Earth could provide. He turned to the woman standing beside him. "Dr. Nelson, any progress with the translations?" Karen Nelson was Earth's leading xenolinguist, though until now she had only worked with theoretical alien languages. "Some," she said. "The mathematical patterns in their messages give us a starting point. I've developed a basic translation matrix, but without knowing their physical form or sensory abilities, there are many gaps." "Keep working on it," Benjamin D. said. "We need to be ready for any possibility when we arrive." In the 3 months since Commander Barnes had broken protocol and responded to the alien signal, Earth had been in chaos. Governments argued, religions questioned their teachings, and ordinary people looked to the stars with new wonder and fear. Finally, the Earth Alliance had decided to send a rescue mission. The alien messages had grown stronger after the initial contact, but still contained urgent pleas for assistance. In the ship's tactical room, Lieutenant Frank Morgan prepared security protocols with his team. "We have to be ready for anything," he told them. "This could be a genuine crisis or it could be a trap. Either way, we protect our crew and our ship." George Martinez, the first contact specialist, disagreed. "The Liriani, that's what they call themselves, have been consistent in their communications. They're scientists, not warriors." "Maybe," Frank replied. "But we've only known about them for 3 months. I'd rather be cautious than sorry." In the medical bay, Dr. Samantha Ellis reviewed her supplies and equipment. No one knew what the aliens might need medically, so she had prepared for every possibility she could imagine. Her assistants tested various atmospheric mixtures that might be compatible with alien biology. As the ship approached Tau Ceti, the crew gathered in the main briefing room. Captain Howard stood before them, his face serious. "In 6 hours, we will make history," he said. "We will be the first humans to meet an alien species. Our mission is to rescue the crew of the damaged Liriani vessel and offer whatever assistance we can. Remember your training. Follow protocols. And, most importantly, represent humanity with dignity and compassion." He looked around the room at the faces of his crew. "Any questions?" Karen Nelson raised her hand. "Captain, the latest communications suggest their life support systems are failing rapidly. How much time will we have for first contact protocols before we need to begin rescue operations?" "A valid concern," Benjamin replied. "We'll attempt standard greeting procedures, but if their situation is critical, we'll move directly to rescue operations. Dr. Ellis, your team should be prepared to receive injured aliens immediately." Samantha nodded. "We're ready, Captain." The briefing ended and the crew returned to their stations. As the hours passed, tension grew throughout the ship. Some crew members prayed. Others reviewed first contact procedures again and again. Ayo. Few wrote messages to loved ones back home just in case. Finally, the Endeavour dropped out of FTL travel near Tau Ceti. The star system appeared on their view screens, a yellow star similar to Earth's sun, with several planets orbiting it. "Scanning for the source of the distress signal," said the sensor officer Lisa Wright. After a few minutes, she looked up in surprise. "Captain, I'm not detecting any planets in habitable zones with technology. The signal is coming from there." She pointed to a cluster of asteroids orbiting between the 4th and 5th planets. Benjamin leaned forward. "Magnify." The screen zoomed in on the asteroid field. Floating among the rocks was a ship, clearly artificial and unlike anything humans had built. Its design was elegant, with curved lines and what looked like biological elements integrated into the hull. But several sections were damaged, with debris floating nearby. "Life signs?" Benjamin asked. Lisa adjusted her instruments. "Difficult to tell with their biology, but I'm detecting some form of energy consistent with their previous communications. It's weak, sir." "Any sign of what damaged their ship?" "None, Captain. No other vessels in the area. From the debris pattern, they might have been hit by something that then left the system." Benjamin considered his options. The alien vessel was drifting slowly, rotating on its axis. Its hull showed signs of both explosive damage and what looked like decay or corrosion. "Dr. Nelson, can you hail them?" he asked. Karen sent a transmission using the translation matrix she had developed. They waited tense minutes before a response came. A weak signal with both audio and visual components. The screen filled with an image that made several crew members gasp. The alien had a generally humanoid shape, but with key differences. Its skin had a blue tint, its head was slightly larger than a human's, and its 4-fingered hands moved with strange grace. Behind it, other figures could be seen, moving weakly or lying still. The alien spoke, its voice musical but filled with urgency. "It's welcoming us," Karen translated, and asking for immediate assistance. "Their life support is failing and several crew members are injured." Benjamin stood up. "Tell them we're coming to help. Lieutenant Morgan, prepare a boarding team. Dr. Ellis, gather your medical team. Dr. Nelson, you'll go as our translator. Captain, Frank objected, we should scan for weapons, traps. There's no time. Benjamin cut him off. Look at their ship. Look at them. They're dying. We came to help, and that's what we're going to do. As the boarding team prepared in the shuttle bay, Benjamin returned to the bridge. Earth Command had sent new instructions after learning they had arrived at Tau Ceti. Maintain distance, establish communication only. Do not board alien vessel. Quarantine protocols in effect. Benjamin stared at the message for a long moment. Then he looked at the alien ship on the screen, its systems visibly failing. He thought about what it meant to be human, to hear a cry for help and respond. Send the shuttle, he ordered, and may God help us all. The small shuttle detached from the Endeavor and moved toward the damaged alien vessel. Inside were 8 humans, their hearts racing with a mixture of fear and wonder. They were about to become the first humans to set foot on an alien ship, to look into the eyes of beings from another world. Humanity's first rescue mission among the stars had begun. Security Chief Nicole Patterson led the boarding team toward the alien ship. Her heart beat fast inside her spacesuit, but her hands were steady on her equipment. Behind her followed Dr. Samantha Ellis, Engineer Eric Johnson, and xenolinguist Dr. Karen Nelson. 4 security officers guarded their backs. Remember, Nicole said through the comm system, we move slowly, no sudden movements. Follow first contact protocols. Their shuttle docked with the alien vessel. The connection wasn't perfect. Human technology meeting alien design for the first time. Eric used tools to create a sealed path between the ships. I've got a good seal, he said. Checking the atmosphere. Interesting. It's similar to Earth's air but with more oxygen. Temperature is slightly warmer than ours. Can we breathe it? Nicole asked. Dr. Ellis checked her instruments. Probably, but let's keep our helmets on until we're sure it's not harmful to us. The team moved through the airlock into the alien ship. Lights on their suits cut through the dimness. The corridor ahead curved gently, its walls smooth and colored, in soft blues and greens. The design felt both strange and somehow familiar. Look at this, Eric said, pointing to where the wall seemed to blend into what looked like technology. The ship's systems are grown, not built. It's like technology and biology mixed together. They moved deeper into the ship. Signs of damage became more common. Torn panels, broken systems releasing small puffs of gas and dark patches that might have been some kind of fluid. The translator is picking up signals, Karen said. They're coming from ahead, probably the ship's control center. As they rounded a curve, they found a large door partially open. Nicole went first, weapon ready just in case. The room beyond was clearly the bridge of the ship. Screens covered the walls, showing stars, ship systems, and strange symbols. In the center was a raised platform with several chair-like structures, and there were the aliens. 7 beings moved about the bridge or lay on the floor. They were taller than most humans, with slender bodies and 4-fingered hands. Their skin had a blue tint that seemed to shimmer slightly. Large eyes dominated their faces, eyes that turned now to look at the humans with clear intelligence. 1. Alien stood from a central chair and stepped forward. It wore what looked like a uniform with strange symbols on the chest. When it spoke, the sound was like music, rising and falling in complex patterns. Karen activated her translation device. My name is Xylar, captain of the research vessel Lumina. We thank you for answering our call. Karen spoke into her translator. We come from Earth. We're here to help. The alien, Xylar, gestured to others lying on the floor. My crew is injured. Our ship was attacked. Life support failing. Dr. Ellis stepped forward, medical kit ready. I'm a doctor. Can I examine your injured? Xylar hesitated, then nodded. Please help them. While Dr. Ellis began checking the injured aliens, Eric moved to what appeared to be a control panel. With your permission, he said through Karen's translator, I'd like to look at your ship's systems. Xylar pointed to another alien who stood nearby. Naren will assist you. Our core is unstable. Not much time. Nicole kept her team alert while the specialists worked. She noticed strange marks on parts of the ship, not from the damage, but something else, like claw marks or burns in strange patterns. Dr. Ellis looked up from an injured alien. Their biology is different from ours, but I can stabilize most of them. This one needs more advanced care than I can provide here. Eric's voice came over the comm, sounding worried. Captain Patterson, we have a problem. Their ship's power core is critically damaged. From what I can understand through Naren's explanations, we have maybe 2 hours before it fails completely. Nicole contacted the Endeavor. Captain Howard, the alien crew needs medical evacuation. Their ship is going to lose all power in about 2 hours. After a moment, Benjamin's voice came through. We just received new orders from Earth Command. They want us to maintain quarantine protocols. No aliens on the Endeavor. Nicole looked at the injured beings around her. One small alien was being held by another, both trembling. Despite their alien features, the fear and pain in their eyes was unmistakable. Captain, she said quietly, these people will die if we leave them. There was a long pause before Benjamin responded. Prepare them for evacuation. We'll deal with Earth Command later. As the team began preparing the aliens to move, Karen continued communicating with Xylar. The alien captain seemed concerned about something beyond their immediate danger. Why were you attacked? Karen asked. Xylar's large eyes blinked slowly. The swarm. They consume all they find. We were researching early warning systems. They found us. The swarm? What is that? Not now, Xylar said. Not safe. Must leave. Quickly, Eric called out from a nearby panel. Whatever hit this ship did more than physical damage. There's some kind of, I don't know, like a virus in their systems. It's eating through their technology. Suddenly, alarms began sounding throughout the ship. Naren made urgent gestures at a screen showing the power core. The alien spoke rapidly, to Xylar, who turned to Karen. No more time. Core destabilizing faster than expected. Nicole made a quick decision. Everyone back to the shuttle now. Help the injured aliens. The team moved quickly, carrying those aliens too hurt to walk. Dr. Ellis directed the others on how to safely move the wounded. As they hurried back through the curving corridors, the ship around them groaned and shuddered. What's happening? Nicole asked. Eric glanced at a small device in his hand. The ship is breaking apart. Whatever damaged it is accelerating. They reached the airlock just as parts of the ceiling began falling around them. The last alien was barely through when a massive shake threw them all against the walls. Seal it. Now, Nicole shouted. Eric slammed the airlock shut and started the emergency disconnect procedure. The shuttle broke free from the alien ship just as explosions began rippling across its beautiful hull. Inside the shuttle, humans and aliens crowded together, watching through a small window as the lumina began to break apart. Xylar stood closest to the glass, one hand pressed against it. Though the translator couldn't catch the alien's words, the sadness was clear in those large, expressive eyes. As they flew back to the Endeavor, Dr. Ellis worked to stabilize the most seriously injured aliens. Karen tried to comfort them with translated words. Nicole kept watch, still alert for any danger. When they docked with the Endeavor, Captain Howard was waiting. He looked at the aliens, then at his team. Good work, he said simply. Then he turned to Xylar and bowed slightly. Welcome aboard the Endeavor. You're safe now. As medical teams rushed to help the injured aliens, Xylar approached Benjamin. The alien was tall, standing a head above the human captain. Through Karen's translator, Xylar spoke words that sent a chill through everyone who heard them. Your kindness may have doomed you. The swarm now knows where we went. They will come looking. Humanity had made first contact, but it might have also made its first enemy. The medical bay of the Endeavor had never been so full. Dr. Samantha Ellis moved between beds where the 7 Liriani rested. The aliens were recovering well, their blue skin regaining its healthy shimmer. 2 days had passed since the rescue, and both humans and aliens were adjusting to each other's presence. Their healing rate is remarkable. Samantha told Captain Benjamin Howard as he visited the medical bay. Their bodies can repair damage much faster than ours. That's good news, Benjamin said. How are they handling our environment? Surprisingly well. They need slightly more oxygen than we do, but they can breathe our air without problems. Their body temperature runs a bit cooler than ours, so we've adjusted the temperature in this section. As they spoke, the door opened and Dr. Karen Nelson entered with Xylar, the Liriani captain. The alien moved with graceful steps despite being taller than most humans. Karen carried her translation device, though she used it less frequently now as her understanding of the Liriani language grew. Captain Howard, Xylar said through the translator, my crew and I are grateful for your help. We would not have survived without you. Benjamin nodded respectfully. I'm glad we could help, but we have many questions that need answers. Xylar's large eyes blinked slowly. Yes, it is time for truth between our peoples. They moved to a conference room where Eric Johnson and Nicole Patterson waited. The room had been modified with a taller chair for Xylar. On the screens around them were images of Earth and the solar system. Tell us about the swarm, Benjamin said once they were all seated. Xylar's four-fingered hands moved in a graceful pattern as the alien spoke. The swarm is not one species, but many joined together. They take others and make them part of themselves. They take technologies too. They consume and grow. Karen adjusted her translator. Are they like a hive mind? A collective consciousness? Yes, Xylar confirmed. Individual thoughts become one. Identity is lost. They appeared at the edges of known space many cycles ago, what you would call decades. At first we thought they were peaceful explorers like us. We were wrong. And they attacked your ship? Nicole asked. Yes. We were placing warning beacons, near systems they might target next. They found us before our work was complete. Benjamin studied the alien carefully. Why were you near our solar system? Was that a coincidence? Xylar hesitated before answering. No, not coincidence. We detected your transmissions. We were assessing your development. You were studying us, Eric said, his voice sharp with suspicion. Yes. We are part of a coalition of species that has maintained peace in this sector for thousands of years. When we find developing worlds, we observe. Usually we do not interfere until they discover faster-than-light travel on their own. But you sent a distress call that we could detect, Benjamin pointed out. The attack damaged our systems. The call was meant for our people, but it broadcast widely. When you responded, we were surprised. Your technology should not have been able to detect or understand our signal. Karen looked up from her notes. Commander Barnes on the Horizon Station is very good at her job. Xylar made a sound that the translator didn't catch but seemed like appreciation. When you responded, we had a choice. Maintain distance as our protocols dictate or accept help from a developing species. Survival won over protocol. While they talked, Eric had been reviewing data on his tablet. He looked up with concern. Captain, I've been working with Narration to understand their technology. We found something troubling. There's a tracking device on their ship that survived the destruction. It's damaged but still transmitting a weak signal. Can we destroy it? Nicole asked immediately. Xylar shook his head. The beacon is integrated with systems keeping my people alive. To destroy it would harm them. A heavy silence fell over the room. Benjamin broke it with a direct question. How much time do we have before the swarm might detect the signal and follow it here? Their nearest forces were 2 sectors away. Perhaps 1 Earth year, maybe less. Benjamin stood and paced the room. We need to contact Earth Command immediately. They need to know what we're dealing with. As Nicole and Eric left to prepare a detailed report, Karen remained with Xylar. She had noticed something in the alien's behavior, a reluctance, perhaps, to share everything. There's more, isn't there? She asked quietly. Something you haven't told us. Xylar's large eyes fixed on her. Yes. Your species interests us greatly. You are unique. In what way? Your minds, the way you think. Humans have what we call adaptive individualism. You maintain strong individual identities while still working together. Most species lean heavily toward either collective thinking or strong individuality. You balance both. And that's important because the swarm conquers by assimilation. It absorbs minds into its collective. Species with strong collective tendencies are easily absorbed. Those with strong individuality often cannot work together enough to fight effectively. Humans might be resistant to their methods. Karen understood suddenly. You weren't just studying us. You were evaluating us as potential allies against the swarm. Or as potential weapons, Xylar admitted. Your species develops very quickly. Your technology, your adaptation to new challenges. It is remarkable. In the 1,000 years we have observed Earth, you have advanced more than most species do in 10,000. In the medical bay, Dr. Ellis made an important discovery. While examining the Liriani patients, she noticed strange patterns in their genetic structure. Using the ship's advanced medical scanners, she found evidence of extensive genetic engineering. When she showed her findings to Benjamin, his face grew serious. They've modified themselves? Extensively, Samantha confirmed. Their healing abilities, their resistance to radiation, even their brain structures, all carefully engineered over what must be thousands of generations. Why would they do that? I have a theory, but I'd need to confirm it with them. Later that day, Benjamin called another meeting. This time all the senior officers attended, along with Xylar and Naren. We've been honest with you, Benjamin said to the aliens. Now we need complete honesty from you. Dr. Ellis has discovered that your species has been genetically modified. Why? Xylar exchanged looks with Naren before answering. We are guardians, created to resist swarm assimilation. Our role is to find species that might help defeat them. Created by whom? Nicole asked. The Coalition. Long ago they selected certain species to be modified, to be stronger, to resist the swarm's influence. We are one such species. Our mission is to protect developing worlds and find new allies. Eric connected the dots first. So you came to our system not just to study us, but to see if we could be useful in your war. Not our war, Xylar corrected. Everyone's war. The swarm consumes all life, all cultures. If they reach Earth, they will take humans too. Benjamin stood at the window looking out at the stars. The distress call that had seemed like a chance for peaceful first contact had revealed a galaxy at war, and now Earth was drawn into the conflict. We need to warn Earth, he said finally, and prepare our people for what's coming. The Endeavour returned to Earth orbit 3 months later. The journey home had been tense but productive. Humans and Liriani had shared knowledge, studied each other's languages, and begun to form friendships despite their differences. From the bridge, Captain Benjamin Howard watched Earth grow larger on the view screen. The blue planet looked peaceful, unaware of the danger that might be coming. We've received clearance to dock at the orbital station, said Lisa Wright, the communications officer. But there's more, sir. The United Earth government has called an emergency council. They want you, Commander Barnes from Horizon, and Xylar to attend immediately. Benjamin nodded. Tell them we'll be there. News of the Endeavour's return with alien visitors had spread worldwide. Some people celebrated this historic moment. Others protested, fearing alien diseases or invasion. Religious leaders debated what this meant for their beliefs. Scientists were eager to learn from the advanced Liriani. The orbital station was the largest structure humans had built in space. As the Endeavour docked, Benjamin could see extra security everywhere. When the airlock opened, a delegation of Earth's leaders waited. Their faces showed a mixture of wonder and worry as Xylar stepped forward with Benjamin. Welcome to Earth, said President Laura Chen, her voice steady despite the historic moment. We have much to discuss. The emergency council gathered in a large conference room. 50 people sat around a circular table. Government leaders, military commanders, scientists, and religious figures. Commander Olivia Barnes was there too, looking tired but proud. Her decision to answer the alien distress call had changed humanity forever. President Chen opened the meeting. Captain Howard and his crew have sent us detailed reports about the Liriani and the threat they call the Swarm. Today, we must decide how Earth will respond. Xylar stood to address the council. The tall, blue-skinned alien drew all eyes. Through a translator, Xylar explained about the coalition of species, the consuming swarm, and the danger facing all intelligent life. The tracking device from our ship is still active, Xylar said. The swarm will detect it eventually. They will come to investigate. When they find your world, they will see a species worth adding to their collective. General William Parker, head of Earth's Defense Forces, spoke next. We need to prepare for war. The Liriani have shared weapon designs that might be effective against these swarm creatures. We should begin production immediately. War is not the only option, countered Dr. Maya Singh, a respected scientist. The Liriani technology shows biological components that might help us develop defenses against assimilation. We could focus on protection rather than destruction. The debate continued for hours. Some wanted to join the alien coalition immediately. Others argued for isolation, building defenses around Earth while avoiding galactic politics. Religious leaders questioned whether humanity's purpose was to fight in an alien war. Through it all, Olivia Barnes sat quietly, listening. Finally, President Chen noticed her silence. Commander Barnes, you were the first to contact the Liriani. What are your thoughts? All eyes turned to Olivia. She stood slowly looking around the room before speaking. When I heard that distress call, I didn't know it came from aliens. I just knew someone needed help and we could provide it. That choice led us here, to this moment. She paused, gathering her thoughts. We can't hide from what's out there. The universe knows we exist now, but we don't have to become anyone's weapon or join a war that isn't ours yet. She walked to the center of the room. I suggest a third path. We work with the Liriani and their coalition, but on our terms. We learn from them, share our strengths but remain independent. We prepare for the swarm, but we also look for solutions beyond fighting. The room fell silent as people considered her words. Then Xylar stepped forward. Your species surprises us, Commander Barnes. Most races choose either total alliance or isolation. Your middle path is unusual, but perhaps that is why your kind interests us so much. A week later, Earth made its decision. They would not fully join the coalition, but would form a special alliance. They would prepare defenses against the swarm while searching for peaceful solutions. Humanity would stand with the Liriani against this threat, but on their own terms. Work began immediately. In orbit around Earth, construction started on defensive platforms based on Liriani designs, but improved by human engineers. Scientists studied the biology of the swarm from samples the Liriani provided, looking for weaknesses. Military forces trained with new weapons and tactics. Most ambitious of all was the new ship being built. Larger than any vessel previously. Constructed by either species, it combined the best technologies of humans and Liriani. They named it Unity. 6 months after the Endeavor's return, the ship was nearly complete. Olivia Barnes stood with Benjamin Howard on a viewing platform, watching workers move around the massive vessel. It's beautiful, Olivia said. I never imagined my decision would lead to this. Are you having second thoughts? Benjamin asked. Olivia shook her head. No, we made the right choice. Answering that call, helping the Liriani, it showed the best of what humans can be. Nearby, Xylar and Karen Nelson studied star charts, planning Unity's first mission. The ship would carry both human and Liriani crew members to establish early warning systems around the solar system. I've been meaning to ask you something, Karen said to Xylar. That first distress call, the one we detected from Horizon Station, was it really an accident that we picked it up? Xylar's large eyes blinked slowly. Does it matter now? Our peoples are connected, our futures linked. I suppose not, Karen agreed. But I wonder if you knew more about us than you admitted, if you chose us specifically. Perhaps the universe chose, Xylar said. Some connections are meant to be. As the sun set over Earth, Lights came on across the Unity's hull, illuminating its name in both human and Liriani script. The ship represented a new chapter for humanity, no longer alone in the universe, facing unknown dangers but also new possibilities. In her quarters that night, Olivia looked at the stars through her window. Somewhere out there, the swarm was moving, perhaps already, detecting the faint signal from the Liriani beacon, but Earth was preparing. Humanity was adapting as it always had throughout its history. The distress call that had shaken the stars had done more than introduce humans to alien life. It had shown them their potential place in a larger community of worlds. Whatever came next, war or peace, challenge or opportunity, humanity would face it with new allies and new determination. The stars had called out in need, and humanity had answered. Now the universe would never be the same.